So with the new GTA Online DLC dropping this December, and what was going to be the final DLC before GTA 6 got delayed, I figured I might as well go over some of the vehicles that might show up in this update. So let's get started with the first vehicle. So the first vehicle I think we could see in this update is going to be the Dubsta Custom, or basically a more customizable version of the Dubsta. The Dubsta is obviously based on the Mercedes G-Wagon, so it fits the theme of this update perfectly. Plus, people love modifying their G-Wagons in real life, including some interesting choices when it comes to the interiors, so it definitely would make sense for Rockstar to bring something like this into the game. I could definitely see them adding in a LSCM version of the Dubsta, or maybe even bringing back Benny's for a Benny's version. Either way, a custom Dubsta just feels like a no-brainer, especially since the Dubsta 6x6 is the only real variant we've ever had from the Dubsta. Obviously we got the Dubsta 2, but that was in the game before, so I could definitely see them adding in some sort of version of the Dubsta in this update, either a custom version or some sort of updated version basically. It definitely would make sense, and it definitely would fit with the theme of the update. So yeah, I would say that there's a strong possibility that we will see some sort of updated or custom version of the Dubsta in this update. So another vehicle that I think could be coming in this update is going to be the PMP 600, or maybe the newer PMP 700. The PMP 600 was in GTA 4, but for whatever reason it never made its way into GTA 5. And we already know that it's returning in GTA 6 as the PMP 700, as it's been spotted in the trailers, so it wouldn't be too much of a surprise if Rockstar decided to bring it back early with this update. It definitely fits the theme too, especially as it's sort of like a luxury vehicle, I guess you could say. So yeah, I definitely could see Rockstar adding in the PMP 700 and maybe even the PMP 600 to GTA Online with this update. Obviously we'll have to wait and see, but I do think that there's a very good chance that these vehicles will make an appearance, at least the PMP 700, in this update. I think we could also see a Karin Sedan based on the Affinity Q45. We've already seen screenshots of this car, and it definitely would make sense as Affinity is basically Nissan's luxury brand, so it definitely would fit perfectly with the theme of this update. I definitely could see this car showing up as one of the regular GTA 6 traffic vehicles that they seem to add in these sort of updates as well. So yeah, I definitely think that there's a very good chance that Rockstar will add a vehicle like this, or this vehicle, in this update. It definitely would make sense, and it definitely would fit the theme, so yeah, I do think that we could potentially see this vehicle in this update. The Sentinel Classic Cabriolet is another vehicle that I believe could potentially show up. Once again, we've seen a screenshot of this vehicle, so I do think that this vehicle could potentially be added. It certainly would be an interesting vehicle if it does get added, as obviously we don't have the non-cabriolet version. So yeah, I do think that this one could potentially show up as well. It certainly would be an interesting vehicle if it does. Another vehicle that I think Rockstar could add is one based on the newer Dodge Durango. We've already had cars inspired by older versions of it, like the Dorado and the Grizzly, both clearly based on previous generation Dodge Durangos. I think it's possible that we will see an updated version, maybe even something inspired by the Dodge Durango Hellcat. That definitely feels like a type of vehicle that Rockstar will add to this game at some point, so yeah, I do think that we could potentially see some sort of Dodge Durango in this update. And of course, if they do add a vehicle like this to GTA Online, I'm pretty sure there will be a police version as well. So yeah, I do think that there's a very good chance that we will get a vehicle based off the Dodge Durango in this update. I also think that we could see some kind of JDM luxury car added in this update. Maybe something based on the Toyota Century. It definitely would fit the theme and would be a really interesting choice for Rockstar to go with. Also maybe a drift version as well if they do add that, which would be an interesting vehicle. So yeah, I do think that we could see some sort of JDM luxury car added in this update. I could also see the Perennial from GTA 4 making a return. It's kind of a luxury minivan, well, as luxury as a minivan could get, but I definitely think Rockstar could easily bring it back, maybe with an updated design, or maybe even just a straight up remaster of the version from GTA 4. Either way, it definitely would be an interesting addition and would fit nicely with the theme of this update. We might also see an updated version of the Super Diamond, the game's original Rolls Royce. It certainly would be weird for Rockstar to drop a big update like this, but keep the same old model from 2013. So yeah, I definitely could see them giving it an update. maybe something to do with Benny's or maybe some sort of custom version or something. Either way, I definitely think a new Super Diamond is on its way in this update. I could also see the Super Drop Diamond coming back from the Ballad of Gay Tony. Bringing back the convertible version feels like a pretty strong possibility, as it definitely would fit the update and would be a nice vehicle to see return. A Bentley Turbo R styled vehicle, or maybe even a Bentley's Brooklyn style vehicle, could definitely make an appearance in this update. GTA Online doesn't currently have a 90s Bentley styled vehicle in it, so adding one would definitely fill a noticeable gap. There's also a possibility of Rockstar introducing a drift orientated variant as well, so yeah, I do think that we could see a 90s Bentley inspired vehicle in this update. I could definitely see Rockstar adding in a classic 1960s Ford GT, basically a Bullet Retro or Bullet Classic. It definitely feels like the kind of car that they would add in this update, and actually I'm kind of surprised that we haven't had a vehicle like this already. So yeah, I do think that we could get like a classic Ford GT, or I guess a classic Bullet, in this update. And on the completely different spectrum, there is the Tesla Cybertruck, which I'm almost certain Rockstar will parody in GTA 6, it just feels very likely, but could also see them adding a version of it in this update too. Whether they will or not, I don't know. I think it's more likely they will keep this vehicle for GTA 6, but I suppose it's possible that they will release a version of it in this update. I could also see Rockstar adding in an updated version of the Panto. Obviously the Panto came out I think in 2014 in the I'm Not a Hipster update, so obviously it's a pretty old vehicle, so I could see them adding in an updated version more closely based on the newer smart car. I definitely could see them do that, and I do kind of hope they do, because I do think the Panto is kind of a forgotten vehicle really, and I definitely would like to see an updated version. So yeah, hopefully they will add in like a newer version of the Panto, I suppose. I could also see Rockstar adding in an electric dirt bike. I do think that we will get one in GTA 6, so maybe they will also add it to GTA Online before that. I don't know, it just seems kind of weird that Rockstar hasn't added one already, as it does seem like it would be a good fit for the game, and obviously we have had electric motorcycles before. So yeah, I do think that there might be a possibility of an electric dirt bike in this update. One hypercar that I think could potentially appear in this update is going to be something inspired by the Ferrari F80. The F80 is a little bit controversial, some people like its design while others really don't, but it's definitely distinctive, and I think Rockstar could adapt it in a way that fits naturally in the GTA universe. So I do believe that there's a reasonable chance that we could see a vehicle heavily based on the F80, or at least something similar in a similar style, show up in this update. It definitely would fit the theme, and I do think that they could potentially add it in this update. I think that's going to be it for this video. Please be sure to let me know down in the comments what vehicles you think should be added. I know I've left out a bunch of hypercars and supercars. Also, please be sure to like, comment and subscribe, and stay tuned for more.